Hey VC, it's Joel coming at you from Planet 13, and this is my unboxing of the Alice Cooper Schools Out Good Records edition. So the album is put out by Friday Records and Good Records out of Texas. They have a history with Alice Cooper, where the original Alice Cooper band, minus Glenn Buxton, of course, reunited back in, I think, 2018 for the Alice Cooper Live from the AstroTurf. And yeah, I'm really excited to get this album because it does come with a few extra goodies that doesn't come with the standard edition of Schools Out. So this was shipped to me on June 25th and arrived just now on July 8th. The package is still a little bit wet. It's raining here in Canada where I am. And yeah, I'm just going to unbox it. This is my first, aside from VCLT, unboxing of a package. Something I was really excited to do and get because, as a kid, I was a huge Alice Cooper fan, and this is one of the most legendary packaged albums in history. It's very famous for coming wrapped in women's panties, and this kind of recreates that experience that we haven't seen in, I guess, about 50 years. Now, the Schools Out album is, of course, most famous for having Schools Out on it. His number one hit, I think his second biggest hit would be Poison, which came out 20-something years later. But the album itself, aside from that, it took me about 20 years to actually kind of get into. It's not his most hit-worthy album. There's only the one big hit on it, which is Schools Out, his biggest hit. But the other songs are very kind of weird and jazzy and a big step sideways for the band that they never really experimented with that sound again. And they didn't play many of these songs in concerts after because, yeah, it didn't have many hits. And it just took me about 20 years to really digest that album. And now I love it, but it's not an album I recommend for first-time Alice Cooper fans because it does sound like Alice Cooper, but it doesn't have those early Bob Ezrin hits like you get on those other albums, I guess I'm trying to say. You don't hear many people talk about Schools Out other than the packaging and the hit song. Most people can't list any of the other songs off the top of their head. I can, of course, but yeah, it just took me about 20 years to really appreciate this album, and I appreciate it mostly because of Glenn Buxton. Just an amazing guitarist. He's the guy who came up with the riff to Schools Out. He just had a bizarre way of thinking that you don't get in many other guitar performances since, he's just a legendary guy. So I finally got the packaging off here. I didn't cut myself with my trusty knife. So here we go. Here comes. This box is empty, so we get a nice album here. It says promotional copy, not for sale. That's kind of cool. And here's the album. Right now, a lot of people are saying the album doesn't look too sharp. It looks a little dull compared to the original. I don't have an original to compare with. I would love to have one, but I can't afford it. Mind you, this wasn't cheap either. It cost me 40 American dollars, but when you factor in exchange rate and shipping costs and everything else in between, it probably cost me 80 Canadian, which works out to be like probably 65 American. So yeah, it's not a cheap album, but it's far cheaper than the original. So I'm just going to open up the album cover here if I can. I'm just trying to be as careful as possible because I don't want to damage anything. And yeah, here is the album. I got the white panties. I think they're offering two. They came with pink panties or white. I got the white. Comes in a nice polylined MoFi sleeve, I believe they call it. And here are my extra goodies that you wouldn't get if you just got the standard Friday edition. So that's it here. It comes in this little package here. So you get a nice little Good Records sticker modeled after the, I think, Hot Wheels logo. You get a report card So that's just a track listing with all the times. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And you get a permit to leave room, a hall pass. That's kind of funny. I like that. And you get another little sticker here, a Schools Out Alice Cooper sticker. And then here is a just a nice little cardboard. I don't know what this is called, like a trading card. Here's the back here. It's got some good weight to it. It feels heavier than a trading card, so I almost thought it was like a fridge magnet, but it's not. But it weighs about the same as a fridge magnet. Here's another trading card. So that's rather cool. And you get a little tattoo as well. So very awesome packaging. And then here is the album. I'm not going to fold it out on display. I kind of want to keep it mint for now until I get a little braver. I'll probably one day fold it out. But yeah, it replicates the original packaging. I can't really show you the inside without folding it, so I'm not going to do that. So yeah, just to wrap up, I'm so happy to finally have this album with the panties, even if it is a reissue. I only have 4 more albums to collect for Alice Cooper and his studio albums, and those are his later works. They're just not available on vinyl at the moment, and or they're kind of too expensive for me to buy at the moment, and I'm waiting for reissue, but very happy with this. Some people are complaining the panties are cheaper than the original. Doesn't bother me. They seem good enough to me. I'm not going to wear them or anything. They're just going to stay wrapped around this album. And yeah, just very happy. I'm over the moon. Big Alice Cooper fan. I enjoyed this album. I hear it does sound great from people who do have it, who got it a little earlier than me. They say that the pressing sounds really good. And yeah, some people are, like I said earlier, they're complaining that the cover itself is dull, but yeah, it looks good enough to me. Maybe one day I'll eventually get the original thing, but until then, I am a happy camper. Anyway, until next time, cheers.